marketing of the brand, makes the promise, right? And then it's people who actually deliver that promise.
Yeah.
So the various activities and the various ways that you deal with both customer and employee experience impacts the brand experience directly.
Hello and welcome to Engati CX. I'm your host, Jeremy D'Souza, and today we have a really great guest with us. But before I introduce you, allow me to first introduce you to the magic of Engati. Engati is the world's leading multilingual no-code chatbot platform available across 14 channels with 30,000 bots created across 186 countries in literally every domain and use case. Engati has also been recognized as a top platform by Inc.com, TechWorld, CIO, and many others. We run the Engati blog, the video channel, and the Engati CX podcast, receiving upwards of 300,000 visitors annually. And now for our amazing guest. Shukri Cornelius is the CEO of Vitnova Experience Management, whose software and professional services help organizations optimize the experiences they deliver to customers, employees, and all other stakeholders. He's also a member of the Harvard Business Review Advisory Council. He works with leaders at all levels of an organization, helping them thrive at the intersection of strategy, creativity, and technology. He's a serial entrepreneur and an entrepreneur that seeks not only to adapt to a rapidly changing marketing environment, but to help create and lead the future of the industry. Shukri, we're really, really thrilled to have you with us today.
Thank you very much. I'm honored to be here.
Okay, so before we get started with this, I have an announcement for everyone. We have a special gift for all of you. So stick around till the end of the video and you'll get it. Shukri, let's dive into this.
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, my first question to you is, what are the digital transformation trends that we should expect to see after this COVID crisis?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think that question, was sort of answered while we were experiencing COVID and while we had to do that without much information.
Yeah.
The world, it changed so fast, and it changed at a completely global level.
Mm-hmm.
So everything basically came to as we know. So I think as we go forward, a lot of things have rapidly changed. The world has changed completely. So we would certainly see a continuation of the trend which has been sort of forced upon us and triggered in terms of most of our interactions, or a lot of our interactions, moving online digitally.
Yeah.
Is it a new normal? I don't think it's a new normal. I think it's not normal. There's nothing normal about it. It's pretty much we need a completely rethink on how we do things. We probably also find that companies that are doing well are those that are taking things that are working, and then taking those jobs that needs to be done and doing it in a manner which is enabled by digital and provides a lot more insight. So that sort of unlocks a number of opportunities, in a sense that while it's challenging because all of a sudden millions of, for retailers that's staying open, millions of orders are moving online, and it needs to get out, it needs to get into stores. From stores, it needs to get packed and then onto our table.
Yeah.
So how quickly are we going to learn to do that? And can we keep the customer satisfied throughout that channel? Then it's obviously, given the data and security risks that brings, there's a lot more focus on how do we protect the data and privacy issues. And then as well as if we're looking at from a patient experience perspective, doctors has to care for patients, both of them might be at home. So digitally, that's being enabled at speed. I know IBM is doing some phenomenal work in that area. And then remote work, another area. Remote work definitely. Working smarter. Can we keep employees using digitalization? Can we actually, keep employees engaged? Can we keep them able? Can we enable them? Can we keep ourselves able to be more productive? Not just employed, but can we be more productive digitally? Can we ensure that parents, can we provide digital in a way that parents are, become more proud of their kids' achievement enabled by digital?
Yeah.
Customers getting answers faster. One of the outcomes is customers have been getting answers at a fraction of the rate at which they used to wait for answers.
Yep.
These are some of the digital trends that we're seeing, and we believe that it will escalate.
Okay, that was pretty interesting. You spoke about employees, and what I wanted to know is we hear about customer experience, we hear about employee experience. How do you think a brand experience is different from both of these? Does it precede these, or what do you think?
It's a great question, and one that's often overlooked. It's not removed from either. Our view is that marketing of the brand, makes the promise, right? And then it's people who actually deliver that promise.
Yeah.
So the various activities and the various ways that you deal with both customer and employee experience impacts the brand experience directly. And hence, what you in the introduction, you mentioned a little bit about experience management in our company. What's important is that each of those experiences needs to be managed in a way that they produce an integrated outcome that is better than each part on its own.
Yeah.
So, by all means, they are reinforcing of each other. They're most definitely reinforcing, and often we find that employee experience is where where a lot of traction can be made early on, and a lot of great work can be achieved in the customer experience domain if things are done properly in the employee experience domain early on.
Yeah. It all feeds off each other, right?
Correct. They're almost inseparable, but there's it's something which you have to keep your eye on. It's something that you have to do continuously, and for the right reasons. Then the dividends which they pay as they're feeding, reinforcing, and it's a continuous virtuous cycle.
Yeah.
They feed each other.
Yeah. That makes absolute sense. I like what you said about it being a virtuous cycle. We spoke about that a little earlier in one of our previous episodes. Everyone, if you've not heard that one, you should really check that one out too.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
Shukri, my next question to you is, how can automation and AI, or especially conversational AI, be used to deliver a better brand experience?
From an I mentioned something a little bit earlier. I said that customers are starting to find that when they're waiting for answers or they're waiting for insights, those wait times are now cut down, to fractions of what they previously had to wait. So the answers via AI, conversational chatbots, etc. Is cutting hours down to minutes. The availability of data, which is triggered by this digitalization in as we spoke about earlier, much better data, much more data, and continuously flowing data is becoming available. And conversational AI has the ability to read that data near real time, and with the correct application of that insights, clients can be served in a manner that is really personal, within limits. But often clients can be, clients can be served in a way that really resonates with what their requirements are. They can solve many, many more problems just by the ability of conversational AI, chatbots, etc., having access to so much more information of use in bringing an answer to the client. All of that, obviously, it's that sort of leads to a great customer experience, right? Clients typically, I would imagine, are very happy, but that directly influences how they feel about the brand. Have they got a positive connotation towards the brand as such? The experience, the customer experience, is one thing. It expresses itself in how they feel ultimately about the brand, the relationship that they feel, the relationship that they form, and typically how they speak about it to others. So definitely AI chatbots and conversational AI can most certainly, if used correctly, have a positive impact on brand experience.
So essentially, what you say is that with conversational AI, customers get like two benefits. One, they don't have to wait for an entire century to get in contact with a representative, and two, they don't have to deal with irrelevant information. So, and that anchors positive emotions in them towards the brand itself, right?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, if some of the research that we've been seeing recently, 25% of customers would actually pay more for a better customer experience. But then 64% is saying that they expect real-time responses at any time. As well as another 62% of the total saying that they will consider switching to a competitor after only one or two bad experiences.
Yeah.
So there's really strong research that points towards the capabilities that often AI is better suited to deliver. Conversational AI is really geared to deliver at a certain level.
Certainly. My next question to you, Shukri, is that in these tough times which we're going through right now, what should brands be doing differently to show actual empathy towards their customers and actually create value for them, rather than just trying to cut costs?
That's I think it's really situational, but there are some broad overarching themes and elements that is applicable across. One of the key things, difficult decisions for business typically, for business to make, is the need to make profit.
Yeah.
And if things is not going well, then the inclination to cut cost. At the moment, as we move through the impacts of COVID, the ravages of COVID, if one can put it that way for this comment, empathy is critically important. And at the moment, it's necessary for brands to show that they're not prioritizing profit over, they're not prioritizing profit over delivering what is required and what is needed by their customers, their clients, by the world, to move through this situation with a little bit more comfort. So I would say, number one, really think hard about whether you can, not be sort of fretless, but can you rather prioritize empathy over maximizing profit at this stage.
Yeah.
That's an important element. Then
Mm-hmm.
second one is, can you use the data which you are collecting? Can you spend extra effort, extra time, um, and possibly some money on using the data that you are getting in order to better people's lives proactively, without being necessarily asked to do that, or being pushed. But can you proactively do that and engage your existing clients in manners that really makes their lives easier?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think the last one is to really show, is to show the side of the company that's more in tune with what we require psychologically as well. At this point, marketing messaging is critically important as well. How we position, and what do we do in terms of our marketing messaging. Can you over advertise, over promote, oversell? And it's highly likely that you could do that in a situation like this.
Certainly. Certainly. Shukri, are there any other thoughts that you'd like to leave the audience with today?
I think one of the key elements that has certainly dawned upon us, when I say us, I mean our team, and our clients with whom we have regular conversations, is the is how the holistic experience, which includes all of the components that we've spoken about: employee experience, customer brand experience, and such, as well as partner and ecosystem. How all of those, if any one of them are left out, or if you don't understand any one of them, you need to have a bit of a gap in terms of your total ability to respond. But once you do understand it you sort of in a holistic picture, how the system then works together as a company, your ability to deal with clients and deliver excellence and on point is so much better. So what has really come to mind, recently for us, and become very important for us, is this emphasis on managing the total sort of ecosystem of experiences that your
Yeah.
company delivers.
The experience ecosystem all has to come together. Can't be one thing. It has to be everything.
Yeah. And despite whether that's popular, or whether the company is focusing on it or not, it has to start being a conversation that's had, right? If understandably, in certain circumstances, you focus predominantly on customer experience, or human resources might focus predominantly on the people experience, on the employee experience.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really starting to become a pressing issue for the C-suite to start taking the total experience into account, and how they drive each other and manage that. It has long-term sustainability, and short-term rewards.
Yeah, certainly that really makes a lot of sense. Your insights were really, really valuable, Shukri. Thank you so much for giving us all your time and your energy. Um, where can everyone reach you? Can they reach you on your LinkedIn? Mm-hmm.
Sure, they definitely on my LinkedIn profile, or alternatively on our company website. It's www.withnova.co.za. And by all means, also my email address is very simple. It's Shukri, Shukri, at withnova.co.za. And reach out, have a chat. We absolutely like engaging in conversation at this point in time. It's because our experiences are often it's so the same globally, and often it's so different, which reaches us.
Yeah, I'm sure everyone's definitely going to reach out to you. They're going to flood your website for sure, because your insights are really, really good. Okay, and since all of you guys have stuck around through the entire interview, well, we do have to give you something, right? So, we'd like to announce that our ebook, The Evolution of Customer Experience, is available for you to download for free. So check the link in the description and yeah, go ahead and get it. Engati CX will be back with a new episode and a new expert really soon, so stay tuned, guys.